Hello, Anton the Wailing Banshee here, and I'm still working with natural light, so sorry about that. Hopefully, video editor will be able to make the picture look a little bit better. Rocking out my Helsing shirt, or something that looks at least similar to Helsing, because someone probably didn't want to pay the rights, and it doesn't quite look like Alucard to me, but oh well. Anyways, today we have a new horror pack, and I do believe it's the DVD one. I'd show it to you, but I'd show you the box, but all it really says is horror pack and then my address. I did take the time to open it up, so I don't need to have my trusty knife, but it is always by my side. So here it is to prove that. And I opened it up because they always come in a second bag that is sealed, so I can open it up, save a little bit of time, and then open it on, do the unboxing on the video. I am going to try and make this somewhat brief, as it is, even in this nice air-conditioned room that I am in, it is still very hot outside. I'm wearing a black shirt that doesn't breathe particularly well. So let's get to the box and let's see what we got. The first one that we have is, I'm sorry, I'm completely holding that one to myself. We have the special edition of John Carpenter's The Fog. I was taking as much time to read it because it looks like they got, if you can read any of that, whoops, it looks like they got a Canadian version. Nothing wrong with the Canadian version, it plays just as well as anything else. Just means you're going to have the information in English or French. But nothing wrong with that movie. I'm pretty sure I already own it because I'm a big fan of horror movies, especially older ones, and I know I own a copy of The Fog. It's whether or not it's that particular special edition. Though I don't want to have one that has French writing on it, so there's that. I happen to have it. Good movie. Not going to get necessarily mad at them for putting that one in. See, the second movie, the limited edition DVD that they talked about, is called Carl. And I'm sure I'll have more to say about this movie in the second half, of the pricing and more review section. Though I'm guessing low budget horror movie, just because that's where you get a limited edition DVD. Third one, we have a double feature, which would of course also be super if I didn't own it. So we have Pumpkinhead, Ashes to Ashes, and Pumpkinhead 4. You know what? I didn't really mind the later Pumpkinhead movies. Pretty sure Lance Henriksen is actually in some of the... Oh yeah, it's on the top of both of them. He's in both of these. So far I own 2 of them, which is never the best start, but they're DVDs, so the chances of me owning more well-known ones are pretty good. Let's see what the last one is. The Facility, which I do not own, which is good, but it also means, sorry, that I don't know anything else about it. So I will come back after looking up some of these movies and give a sort of little mini review. Alright, I'm back for the second half of the review. As someone who likes to ramble on, I tend to have to make a short and a long version. So, oops. I like to do these in the order of how excited I was to receive them, and let's just get started. So the one that I have up at the top, I'd say least excited, but that just sort of sounds mean, is the Pumpkinhead, Ashes to Ashes, and Pumpkinhead 4. So the reason that this got at the top really has nothing to do with the quality of the movies, because I actually did kind of enjoy the movies. It has more to do with the fact that I own them. So my excitement level is definitely going to be lower on something I own. So the price for that is, you can get it for right around $6 on Amazon, and just doing a general search on eBay, it's a little bit more at $9 to $11. So really, I guess it depends on how much searching you do before buying. The next movie is The Fog. Like I said, it's the Canadian release, but it's all region 1. In Canada, they speak English. They just have the two official languages, English and French, so you just have English and French on the packaging. No real big deal. Didn't open it because, once again, I own it. So it's the 100th anniversary in Antonio Bay, and a strange ship comes into port with some ghoulish creatures on board, and our protagonists have to figure out the mystery behind why these creatures are so angry. Oh, sorry, it is John Carpenter's The Fog. They wrote John Carpenter's very small, which is why I'm forgetting and somewhat omitting it. But he likes to have the names, or his name, with the apostrophe S on the top of his movies, which, if that's what you want, that's fine by me. So the only real down thing that I have to say about this movie is, not that I own it, because Horror Pack doesn't know what movies I own, and they can't work their entire pack around me as much as I would like them to. That would be unrealistic, so I won't expect them to. The one thing that I have a problem with, I guess somewhat of a problem with, is that Shout Factory is releasing a bunch of Blu-ray versions, special editions of horror movies, and one of the ones that they released is The Fog. Now I can see why they wouldn't want to do the Blu-ray version, seeing as the Shout Factory ones tend to be a little bit more expensive. I want to say The Fog was $19 when I looked on Amazon, right around there. Granted, you might be able to find them on sale. But if you don't have a Blu-ray player and you really like DVDs, it is a good movie and it is released. And it does have the special features. So on that grounds, it's a decent enough movie. The third movie, The Facility. Basically 7 people coming in to do a drug test. And the drug that they are given causes them to go into sort of a murderous rage. Sounds interesting enough. So I'll give that a look at some point. So I found it on Amazon for $12.60. Just looking at the Amazon Prime price. I think that was the lowest price that I found it new on Amazon. Go over to eBay and you can find some copies for closer to $6 to $10. Then the final movie, Carl. I'm not really surprised that it is a low-budget movie that they got for the limited edition DVD. I never mean anything bad when I say low budget. It's just sort of an independent movie that doesn't have the money of a giant studio. So that's nothing against them. I like the low-budget movies. So this is definitely kind of the movie type that I would be expecting for a special edition DVD. One that was made with a lower budget and doesn't have the resources necessarily to put out a giant proper DVD release, or I guess in this day and age, Blu-ray and DVD release. So Carl is about Carl, who is a mama's boy, and his mom, who seems to be a little bit off her rocker. And so anyway, Mama sends Carl to kidnap Lisa. Sorry about looking over at my notes here. And Lisa's husband, Mike, is determined to get her back. So we have our conflict. And that looks like an interesting movie, and I'll definitely be checking it out. As I continuously say, I'll be doing reviews on all of the movies in Horror Pack, and maybe I will actually start to get to them. Anyway, so that says it's a limited edition DVD. You can get a DVD-R version from Amazon for right around $19. Though the back cover of this one that I got does say that it has a new commentary track that was not previously released. So maybe that is the really exclusive part. Anyway, as I can't stop rambling, I'll just get on to the prices of everything. This pack costs $19.99, and that does include shipping. So basically, that averages out to $5 a DVD. You can change that a little bit if you want to factor in shipping, but I'm sure they get a deal on shipping because of how many they ship out. But That's not really important. Anyway, so adding up the prices, I got a range of around $39 to $52.60. That's pretty good when you only pay $20. The higher price is if you just sort of search one place and just buy the movie then. You know, you're not necessarily searching around for the lowest price. That's what that one's for. And the lower one is more just, you know, the basic searches that I did on Amazon and eBay. So you might be able to get it a little bit lower if you're really searching. If you're not a fan of the low budget horror movies, then you're going to want to deduct the $19, and that brings it right down to about $20, which is what you paid. So if you're not a fan of low budget movies and they're offering, you know, limited edition ones, well, you might want to take that with a grain of salt, because you're probably going to end up one of these ones that has, you know, doesn't have the means of a major distribution. So you're going to end up with one of those lower budget independent films. Personally, I'm a fan of them, so it's included in my own personal value. My own personal value for this pack I had at $25, which is kind of low. Then again, I didn't include the prices of The Fog and Pumpkinhead because I own them both, so there'd be no reason for me to have to buy them. But that's not necessarily a mark against Horror Pack. It just says that we both ended up buying the same movie, which will happen. For the facility, I included the lowest price I could find on eBay because that's the price I found. So why wouldn't I pay the lowest price? And then the $18.99 rounded up to $19 for Carl, giving me the total of $25. So I still do have the Blu-ray pack, which is $24.99, just to say. And I will be doing that one whenever it arrives. And hopefully I'll be able to get to some of these movies to do reviews. But I, unfortunately, am really busy, so it might just be a string of unboxing videos for a little while. But I will get back to reviews. So, until next time, thank you for watching.